Oh my goodness.
You have your
I
own
am a
bobblehead.
bobblehead. Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today is the most hotly anticipated day of the year because Ryan from CRKT is in the house. How are you, Ryan?
George, doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, especially because y'all have a new OTF this year.
We have 3.
All right, let's talk knives. All right, Ryan, we just teased it in the opening. Tell me about this new OTF from CRKT.
Yes, 2025 is going to be an exciting year for CRKT as we have our first American-made OTF coming to the market in 2025. This is going to be the twist tie designed by Brian Tighe. Let's get into some of the specs. 7071 aluminum here on this side. We have carbon fiber with a couple different color pops here. You can see the pink. There is a green, and then we also have a black version. So you can take your pick on whatever color you like. Has that really cool artistic look to it. And then it's gonna be Magna Cut blade steel with that amazing action.
Like almost effortless.
Effortless.
Super fidgety.
Wow.
And
how many times was that?
I don't know, a lot. And I'll tell you, I like to try and run an OTF really fast when I first get it to see just how easy is the action, how grippy is the slide.
Yeah.
And this one is just the right amount of grip that I can do this all day long. It's not gonna tear up my thumb. And my goodness, is it a nice snappy action.
Did it pass the George test?
Passes the George test. Yeah, and another thing I'll say here is I've said on multiple occasions, Brian Tighe might be my favorite machinist in the industry because his stuff, like his texturing is just beautiful.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
It's like organic, flowy lines. It's almost hard to describe how beautiful it is, honestly. It's like a piece of art.
Yeah, and I've seen a few of his customs back in the day.
Yeah, the Brian Tighe and Friends.
Yeah, where like he'll take camo carbon like this and he will mill a full handle, like integral out of it. And I just think it's awesome that we have something that feels so Brian Tighe, but from CRKT.
Right.
It's not a $7,000 custom.
Yeah, it's super ergonomic, fits really well in the hand, extremely lightweight. You know, you got your Magna Cut blade steel. It's also sharpened on both sides here.
True dagger.
Yep.
Love that.
Yep. And then obviously the action is incredible.
Yeah, you guys nailed it.
And then got your black version as well. So really, you know, we feel like with these 3 options, I'm attracted to all 3, but maybe, you know, the customer is attracted to one over the other, and I think there's one for somebody out there, that's for sure.
I think I like the pink one. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah?
Really.
Is that speaking to you?
It is. So I have a question about this one. I'm looking at
Yes.
this pocket clip, by the way, a very deep carry here. And it looks like we have body screws on the opposite side. Does that make this a reversible clip?
Absolutely.
Oh, so lefties rejoice because that, like it doesn't have like a socket looking thing for the clip, but you can move it and then you get the show scale of the beautiful camo carbon. Dang.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Yeah.
I'm really pumped about this one.
Yeah, I mean, I've been working at CRKT for almost 11 years. I've gone to trade shows, I don't know, too many to count. When are you guys coming out with OTFs? OTFs. And finally, I can say we have an OTF that we're bringing to the market in 25. I'm super excited about it, and I hope everybody is super excited about it.
Yeah, I am too. And I love that you went with a designer you have a great relationship with and who is kind of renowned for his OTFs.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's awesome.
Yep. So that is our twist tie by Brian Tighe. And then next, I'm really excited about this one. This is also what we're known for is our fixed blade minimalist line by Alan Foltz. We have a new one for this year, which is going to be the Minimalist Nessmuk. And are you familiar with the Nessmuk, the story
George
behind?
Washington Sears.
Wow, I thought I was going to know something that George didn't.
Yeah, wrote for Forest and Stream magazine back in the day, and he's sort of the father of modern day backpacking.
Wow.
And his design.
I stayed up late at night rehearsing these lines because I thought I was going to get you, and then...
Oh, sorry.
No.
It's just such an iconic blade shape, though. And is there something new going on with the handle here, too?
Yeah, so this is just going to be the standard inline version. That is going to be the standard handle that we've had on all of our minimalists. However, we also have a key partner version.
Key partner.
Yes, so this is going to be an exclusive as far as the quantity and who we're selling these to. So I'm really excited about this model. That is going to be the white micarta with the satin blade finish. And that knife, it's probably my favorite in the line, to be honest with you. I just love the way it looks. I've been carrying Minimalist for years now, and just the way this blade shape is, it's super useful. You know, you can do, process game, hunting, really any cutting task. It doesn't necessarily have to be hunting involved. It can be outdoors, it can be an EDC, super useful and functional.
Yeah, I think it's probably my favorite Minimalist to date.
Yeah?
Also, I'm noticing, is it just this one that has this hollow grind, or does this guy have a hollow grind too?
Yeah, check it out.
Oh yeah, that one's got the hollow grind too.
Yep, it just looks a little bit more pronounced on the finish there.
Yeah, that satin really makes it pop. But yeah, and that almost ivory color micarta.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, why would you get real ivory these days when you can get micarta, kill 0 elephants, and it still looks awesome, and it feels good, and it doesn't crack, and it doesn't turn yellow.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I like. So I've got Minimalists for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for the one that really felt good to me. I think this is going to be the one.
Well, George,
You didn't, Ryan.
look what I have for you. Oh. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
I think this video comes out on January something. Dude, thank you so much.
I know Dallas is going to be a little upset. He said that was his favorite. He saw I had 2 in my roll, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I got to take both of these back to the office. But that one had your name on it.
It
so
does.
I saved it for you.
How did you know?
I just knew. Yep, and then I also wanted to mention on the inline Minimalist, that's going to be D2 blade steel, and then on the version that you just received is going to be 12C27 Sandvik.
Ooh, I love that.
So that's going to be the upgraded Sandvik steel on the white micarta.
So I learned something interesting about 12C27. Did you know that it's actually tougher than CPM 3V?
I learn something new every day.
Like, it is crazy tough, and that's why it and AEBL end up on balisong so often, is because you can drop it on its tip and it won't break. So,
Well, we have Sandvik on a lot of our lines, so
I'm telling you, Sandvik, super underrated.
love it.
Yeah. All right, so that's the Minimalist line. Alan Foltz, you dog.
Yep.
Keep up the good work, buddy.
Yeah, I just love the Minimalist line. Also, love Lucas Burnley and the Squid line. So we have some line extensions for this year. We have 6 new Squids with button locks. So the Squid has always been a great entry-level EDC, for anybody getting into knives. And now we feel like it's an even better entry-level EDC because the button lock is so easy to use. Also, it does not, you don't have to close it with a liner lock or a flame lock, go over with your thumb, super simple. These are great because small entry-level EDC with the button lock, G10 on both sides. We have an all blacked out version here. This is gonna be D2 blade steel. And then we have another version here with this polished micarta in blue with the blacked out hardware. This is also gonna be D2. And then if you want a little splash of color here, we have the pink version. This is going to be 14C28N Sandvik steel. So what were you just saying about Sandvik? It's a premium steel.
Yeah.
And then we have a pink version. So these are gonna be the 3 Squids with this is gonna be the standard platform that we've had with our Squids. And then we also have the XMs that I was showing you earlier as well.
Got the bigger one, it's a more adult-sized hand, a little more full.
So that's gonna be an XM version with that polished green micarta.
Yep, are we D2 here as well?
D2, correct.
Okay.
And then that guy right there is also going to be D2, blacked out hardware. Call it like a smoke blue-gray look to it.
Maybe slate, I don't know.
Slate, yeah. Well, we'll go with slate.
All right.
Slate works. And then this one is going to be the upgraded Sandvik steel in the fuchsia.
This one's awesome.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I think the knife world is moving in a direction where we all just love purple, and we're okay to admit it now.
Hey, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. So I will say I have given away a lot of squids in my day to like intro knife people.
Yeah.
And the thing that always tripped them up was the liner lock. But I have never seen like the button lock is just so intuitive. Like you push the button and then it can close.
And it's also very fidgety.
And super fidgety. I think this might be, I think this is going to upstage the original Squid as my go-to first knife for people because it's super, I mean, it's a Lucas Burnley design. You know it's going to cut well. It'll serve them well. If this is the only knife they have for life, they're going to be fine. But it also is safe and easy, and oh my goodness, that is very fidgety. I gotta not do that. That's really good.
Yeah, and then this one has been really popular as well. Yeah, the slate color.
Slate, I don't know, It's hard to come up with a good color that doesn't make you sound like one of those, like, as seen on TV blanket commercials.
Slate works, man. I'm rolling with it.
Yeah, super exciting on those. And Lucas Burnley, like, what a prolific designer. A lot of stuff coming from him.
Let's stick with Lucas, huh?
Oh, so you got, I guess, looks like we got Tuna.
Yeah, we got the Tuna Compact. So we're gonna go with the inline version here. This is going to be 14C28N on this model. Just a great size, solid pocket clip on the back, really nice geometry, works really well with that thumb stud. And then we have the upgraded version, which George has. That is going to be S35VN. You have a titanium handle with, it's obviously a gold color.
Sort of, is that an anodized color or are we coded here? Anodized. That's a really consistent anodize.
And then the way it pops too, it just sounds so good when it hits, yes.
Oh yes, here I'll put it by the mic. Yes please, I like that a lot.
Yeah, just a great size.
And a nice premium package too, like a titanium S35VN, that is like the go-to. This is an epic knife combo.
All right.
And I love to see it here.
Moving along to another just incredible designer for us, Richard Rogers. He's done our CEO line, which is blown up. We also introduced one of these knives, which was our Q back at Blade Show West.
And that's where I met Richard. Great guy.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to be a model that we're releasing in 2025. This is going to be our Q with just a different color variation. We have our naked G10 blacked out hardware, and then this is going to be aluminum handle. And then you got your nail nick so you can back flick it as well. And then also just have your, see if you got it.
Oh yes.
Oh man, right on cue.
So I know that CRKT's done a lot of steel handles in the past. I was expecting this to be a whole lot heavier than it is, but like it's not only aluminum, it's like pocketed, it feels like. I guess because you have a G10 inlay.
Yeah, 2 ounces, right on the nose.
Like super lightweight and snappy, and that G10 inlay is real nice. Perfectly flush with the handle.
Yep, so that's gonna be S35VM blade steel.
Dang.
Yeah.
We cooking.
Yeah, in the kitchen.
Cooking in the kitchen. And then we have a deep carry pocket clip.
Yes.
Recessed in there, so it's gonna be easier in and out of your pocket. Man, I like that.
Yeah, that's a really quality piece.
And that's not the end of Richard Rogers, yeah?
That is not the end of Richard. We also have a line extension here on our CEO flipper. So this is going to be our, obviously, brown color, and again, blacked out hardware. I'm really just liking what we've done, with the black blade, black screws, black clip, everything involved. So this has been one of our best-selling families has been our CEO line. So we're continuing to build on our winners and our top sellers.
Yeah, so I have a texturing question.
Okay.
So I felt a lot of CEOs in my day.
Okay.
And a lot of them have the injection molded handle of some variety. I assume this is injection molded.
Yes.
So there are different textures across them. Some have the bamboo, some are very smooth. This one almost feels like it has a fabric-y texture. Do you have different molds for every handle, or is there a finishing process that goes in, or?
George, that is a rabbit hole that I don't know if you want to go down.
We'll go down it someday.
Yes. Yeah, there is all types of different finishing and what looks better with different colors. I mean, it's crazy what these designers and what our designer relations and our engineers go through to bring this to market. There's a reason for everything that we do.
Yeah, and I think, because you guys come out with so many knives, I kind of had it in my head like, oh yeah, there's just some magic box that all the CRKT knives come out of, but that magic box is a very big team who's focused on all the details.
Absolutely.
Which is really a lot of fun to watch.
Yep. So that is our CEO. Next, we have a Tighe knife, and I know you're a fan
Tighe
of
Schwartz.
I know you're a fan of Tighe.
Yes, I do really like Tighe's stuff. I carry his Confidant all the time.
Yeah. So what Tighe is known for is his kind of larger outdoor fixed blades, right? That's what he does in his custom world. But what he wanted to do is develop a knife for his father, who's actually a saddle maker. He's one of the most famous or well-known saddle makers currently in America. It's actually pretty crazy. And so what he carries, or what his father carries, is a small folding knife that he uses like an X-Acto knife for saddle making. And so what Tighe normally produces, his father wouldn't carry every day. And so this is something that he developed for his father, and that's what he gifted him. And then he obviously gave us the rights to this knife. So this is the straight. So you have your full flat grind, just super thin blade stock. That's going to be 1.6 ounces, really thin, fits in the pocket really nicely. D2 blade steel, nice working steel. So it's a really cool design.
Yeah, when you said X-Acto knife, I thought you can kind of hold it like a pencil, and that would be super precise for cutting, like leather, I imagine.
Yes.
And because of that D2 and it's thin, so we have a full distal taper here, it looks like, and that means that this tip, even though it has the width here, thanks to this almost reverse Tanto-esque size, is going to be a nice strong tip.
Yep.
But that is going to glide through even the thickest veg tan saddle leathers out there. Or, paper, or boxes, or whatever else you might be cutting every day.
Right?
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That shows TJ's range, I'll give you that.
Yep.
My goodness. That is not like a lot of his other stuff, but
No,
it feels very TJ. And I love him because he's an engineer.
Yeah, man, that guy is wicked smart. And also, this looks like TJ, though. If you actually see the handles on a lot of his customs, he has, kind of that look to it.
A little place to rest your finger.
Yeah.
Did we see that on the Overland as well? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's sort of a TJ hallmark. And I hope he keeps designing knives because they're really, really good.
All right, next we have Michael Walker, who has developed potentially over 20 different locking mechanisms in his day.
You were just telling me about that, and I kind of wonder why we haven't seen more of them. Is it? I imagine this is one of the patents he holds.
Yeah, so look up Michael Walker. He's the one that actually invented the liner lock. So thanks to Michael, we have liner locks. This is a knife that we had introduced about 25 years ago in our line, which is called the blade lock. In the locking system, so you can see the knife is closed right now and in a locked position. And to release the knife, you push here, actually on the thumb stud, but the thumb stud is on the blade, and that's how you deploy the knife. So we feel like this knife was ahead of its time back in the day, and we're actually trying to pull up different designs that we've had and bring them to life again with new materials. Wow, okay. And reintroduce these to the market that potentially didn't get a whole lot of recognition back in the day.
Yeah, I think this will do really well today because you feel that there's no blade placed side to side, up and down. It is locked in like iron, but it really doesn't take that much pressure on that thumb stud to really get it to launch. And then just closes just as easy. So I guess the only way in and out of this thing is that thumb stud.
Yep.
So it's going to be nice and safe in your pocket, not going to open and cause any trouble, but still super fidgety.
Yep. So this is the Walker Blade Lock 14C28N. Again, we're using that Sandvik blade steel. Kind of has an old school classic look to it with the pivot. Some people have said it kind of looks like almost like a timepiece. Just a really cool kind of old school look with a really unique locking mechanism.
When I see sort of that big circle timepiece looking thing, that to me screams Michael Walker. Because I remember he came out with a couple of his old designs last year in a much more modern premium feel with the liner locks to sort of honor the legacy of Michael Walker. And they kind of had that circular pivot design too.
Yep.
And I'm here for it. I think it's great.
Cool. Yep, so that is the Walker Blade Lock. Next, I think you have the next one. That's the Viento.
Viento.
So that is wind in Spanish. So kind of has this nice flowy look to it. This is a Richard Rogers design. Got your nice chamfering there on the top of the
See
knife.
if you can flick it too.
Yep, got your nail nick.
Very
so
flickable.
You can back flick for sure. Stainless steel bolster, G10. Just a really cool, unique knife. Also, there's kind of something unique about this knife that you wouldn't know unless I told you.
Okay.
You can actually take this backspacer out and remove the backspacer and slide it this way, and it actually has a lanyard hole. So you would just have to move it that way a little bit. It's kind of a cool little, Easter egg that, many people wouldn't know unless you take off the backspacer. So that's kind of a cool thing.
So I imagine if you were going to do that at home, you'd have to pop this scale off, and then I imagine there's a little screw here that would allow it to slide over.
Absolutely.
So would you have to take the whole knife apart, or would
No, you just take the scale off and then take the pocket clip off, and then just slide the backspacer.
So it's going to be nice and easy for you. I would never have guessed that. That just looks so clean and like it's perfectly designed to be there, and I imagine it looks just as well once you have the backspacer slid out, if you're into lanyards.
Yeah, and then also I really like the finger flipper. It's almost like a pushing motion rather than a pulling. So you just kind of push in and it opens. So
A bit of a different angle.
yeah.
And are you familiar with Nick Shabazz?
Yeah.
So he calls those pocket peckers.
Okay.
So if you have a giant flipper tab, it's just gonna harass stuff in your pocket all day. But this is really slim. That is not a pocket pecker.
That is not a pocket pecker at all.
Gotta say it with like the Bugs Bunny accent though. I'm sorry, Nick. We love you. But yeah, this is a lot of fun and a bit of a departure from the more like super slim stuff you see. Like this is a real full handle from Richard Rogers. Once again, a designer with range.
Yep, definitely.
Very exciting on that guy.
Okay, also wanted to discuss, we have 4 new Provokes for this year.
Okay, I got a couple over here.
Yep, so we have just the aluminum version, so you can still has the same kinematic mechanism. This is going to be more of like a gunmetal gray. I think has a really classy look to it. Then we have a green with the black arms. This is gonna be Cerakote. So really cool look to it. And then your 2 new models are gonna be the Grivery Provokes. So historically we've had kind of the louder, brighter colors when we've had the Grivery material on the handles. Now we have more of the muted tones. So that's gonna be an off-white look to it, and then we have a sage color. So different variations of the Provoke. We have the aluminum, and then we have the Griveries in different colorways. So definitely wanted to show that off.
Yeah, I gotta say, every time I pick up a Provoke, I'm just like, Joe Caswell, how did you think this mechanism up? Like, I like to think of myself as a decently creative person, but then I look at this, I'm thinking, what was going through your brain? Like, how did you come up with that?
I'll never know.
I will never know either. But I'm certainly glad he did, and I'm glad that we have creative people like him in this world. Because,
absolutely. Like,
what an idea. You just grab it and then, dink, super easy.
Ready for action.
And it locks, like, how? I just don't get it.
Okay, so we have 3 new M16s for this year.
All right. I got the big one over here.
Yes, so obviously CRKT is known for our M16 line.
Might be the biggest line you have.
Definitely, yep. And so what we've done for this year is we've added the crossbar lock. So we have our O2, which is going to be that American style Tonto, and then we have the O3, which is going to be the black spear point. And then the one that you had is going to be the big dog. That's the 14 with the vest serrations. And then that is going to be that desert sand tan color. These are going to be Grivery on the handle. And then the action is so smooth, so fidgety. I think it's just a great extension on the M16 line. We've also changed the pocket clip up. Got 3 holes on the back, similar to the 3 holes on the handle. A nice robust clip. And I think this is, it just works for this knife.
I was just playing with that. That is a smooth action. I love that. And can we talk about vest serrations for a minute?
Let's talk about it.
So this is a pretty distinctive CRKT thing. I think I've only ever seen them on CRKTs. Where did they come from?
This gentleman named Tom Veff.
Tom Veff. That makes sense.
He lives down the road from us. What he does for a living is sharpen knives, and he developed this serration, which patented Veff serration. So rather than cutting like a normal triple point, like a sawing action, this is a slashing motion. You can just cut right through fibrous material.
Okay, so I've heard in like tactical knives, people in the self-defense capacity, they like serrations because they bite deep. But if like as a slashing method, those might bite the deepest of serrations, right?
That's a biter.
I feel like we might need to try this out. Might need to go get some of those. There's some M16s out there with quite a few Veff serrations on them.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to make a video out of that. We'll see. But that'd be a lot of fun, and I think it's cool that the CRKT M16 is going crossbar lock. How many locks are there on it now?
On the M16,
yeah.
You're saying? Well, so we have our M16, which is going to just have a basic liner lock, but we have the auto locks on there, and then now we have our crossbar lock.
Yeah, and we've seen deadbolt locks as well, yeah?
Oh, correct, yeah. Yep, we've also had our deadbolt. So I guess that would be 4 different locking variations.
And so many different sizes, and like they have the full guard, they have the flippers, thumb studs.
Yeah, I believe we were counting, I believe it's 35 now adding these different M16 variations, yeah, so something for everybody out there.
Yeah, and I know I've spoken to a lot of veterans and overseas on deployments.
Yes.
You see a lot of these.
Yes.
Because, I mean, they're not crazy expensive, but they're built for a war zone.
Yep.
Kit Carson, may he rest in peace. What a design.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with that one.
Yep, and then last but not least, I think I was showing this to you earlier. That is going to be our HZ4. We've had our HZ6 in the line. This is going to be the shorter version, so that's obviously going to be a fixed blade tactical application, James Williams design. That's going to be SK5 carbon steel, G10, got that Japanese inspired Tonto, just a wicked blade.
Yeah, so James Williams, for those of you who aren't aware, is a renowned self-defense expert. And he also is a longtime student of Japanese cutlery. And I've really appreciated his designs for that reason. Like, it just bites the hand really well, and it feels light, nimble. I don't know anything about knife fighting, but he knows basically everything about knife fighting.
Well, you look pretty good right there.
Oh, yeah. Take a picture, send it to somebody who thinks I'm cool, or I don't know. Maybe don't do that. But I think it's cool that he also uses so much Japanese in his naming. So HZK, do you know what that stands for?
Tell me.
I don't know.
Oh.
I want to say the Z stands for Zukuri, but I don't know. But he like speaks enough Japanese, and he always sort of like gives a nod to the amazing rich cutlery culture that he sort of learned from.
Yes.
By giving it very Japanese names. So I don't know what HZK stands for, but I can assure you it's Japanese.
That's good. Well, George, every year I come bearing gifts. Gave them Minimalist Nessmuk.
Yes.
And then I think you've hit the level of potentially, being famous, not only in the knife world, but maybe beyond.
I did get recognized at the zoo once.
See?
It was a cool day.
And I feel like every famous either athlete or musician, from the Beatles, Tiger Woods, whoever, always gets this one thing named or created after them. And I went ahead and decided to do this creation myself, and wanted to put this in a box and give it to him.
Oh boy. Oh my goodness.
You have your
I
own
am a
bobblehead. You've made it.
I've made it. Oh my goodness. I'm a bobblehead. And I got the Blade HQ. They've even got my Garmin Phoenix on there. They got the Kizik's that I wear. Oh my.
And then,
dude, the homework.
And then George, there's obviously George fans out there everywhere. And I think they want a bobblehead as well. So one lucky fan of George gets their very own George bobblehead that they can put up, in their man cave, their house, wherever. And you're forever immortalized
In a bobblehead.
in a bobblehead.
This is amazing, Ryan. This is so good. I just love it. Well, Ryan, this was awesome. I have a lot of questions, and I'm going to ask you so many, but this is awesome. But thank you all so much for joining us. This is honestly one of the highlights of our year, is meeting with CRKT and Ryan and seeing all the amazing new stuff from the amazing team over at CRKT. So I believe at the time of posting, all of this will be available at bladehq.com.
It will.
So head on over and pick it up there, and I guess we'll see y'all next time.